research is a word that a lot of people get pretty bored when you say the word research. And some people don't even think that research works. There's this out in the innovation world, people will say, well, Steve Jobs never did market research. And that's untrue. Steve Jobs didn't do typical market research where he'd bring in focus groups and get them to give him feedback on the iPhone, but he did customer research where he would learn about his customers' problems and deeply understand their needs. People will say things like, uh, is it Tom Ford, the original founder of Ford's Motor Company? He had this saying. He said, if I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. And the truth is, he never said that. That's misquoted to him. And so people use these excuses to get away from doing research. They think, if I'm a true innovator, I don't need to do research. And the truth is, I was one of those people. So I actually said both of those things when I was building my company. I had gone out and I had done a bunch of research thinking I was doing the right thing, and I didn't do it right. So I actually did 300 customer discovery interviews before launching my own tech startup. And I thought that I was doing it right. It turns out now in retrospect, I was doing it entirely wrong. But that led me to believe that research doesn't work. Why would we do research? We can't ask people what they want. We need to show them what they need. And that is a common thing that you might hear from people who are saying, why do research? But here's the thing, like I said, I was doing research all wrong. And I learned 4 lessons that I want to share with you today. And these are really important as you begin your journey of customer discovery. So the first thing I learned is discovery is not selling. And you might say, well, yeah, obviously it's not selling, but it's not selling in the sense where you're not trying to sell them on using your product, but you're also not trying to sell them on your idea. It's not about sitting down in front of somebody and saying, so this is what I'm doing, and don't you think it's great, and wouldn't you use this? If you're trying to sell them on why your idea should exist, you're not actually doing customer discovery, and you're going to miss out on a bunch of really, really great insights. So through my first 300 discovery interviews, guess what I was doing? I was sitting down, I was pitching my product, I was doing a walkthrough of what the product was going to be like, and then I was saying, what do you think? That's not the purpose of customer discovery. It's really not about getting feedback on your product, which leads me to my next thing. Opinions are dangerous. So when we are sharing our vision with people and we're talking about the product we're going to build, that can be useful. It can be helpful for potential customers to hear what it is that's coming, but it can also really lead us in the wrong direction, because a lot of times people want to be nice, and so they'll say things that make them look good to us, or they'll say things that aren't actually true about the way that they exist in the world. So they might say, yeah, I would definitely use that product 100%. But then when you actually launch the thing, guess what? They don't sign up. And so if you're just gathering opinions from people who might be your customers, it can actually really lead you in the wrong directions. I'm going to teach you a research method to avoid that. The other thing you need to know is that people lie. And they lie not only to you, but oftentimes they're lying to themselves. So if you were to ask me, let's say, on January 2nd, Katelyn, what are you going to do this year to get in shape? And I might go, oh, I really want to lose 10 pounds and I've got a plan. I'm going to hire a trainer and I'm going to eat keto and I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. And if you were to ask me that, I would truly believe it. I would think that that's what I'm going to do. But if you said to me, Katelyn, what did you do in the last month to try to get in shape? Oh, well, I sat on the couch and I ate a million hamburgers. So oftentimes people are not just lying to you, they are also lying to themselves. And so you don't want to ask them about things that they might do, because oftentimes you can't really rely on what they share. And lastly, this was the one that's really interesting. Who you talk to, that matters a lot. You want to talk to people who are representative of who your customers might be. But when you talk to them actually matters even more. And this is counterintuitive, especially since marketers are always telling you, you have to focus on your customer. But this insight about when you talk to people, this comes from some very, very smart people who have spent their entire life trying to understand what causes people to buy things. And so one of those people is Clayton Christensen. Clay was a Harvard business professor. He was a celebrated author. He wrote some of the like top books on innovation that have ever been written. And sadly, he passed away a couple of years ago, but he really was a like a thought leader in why people buy things and how we as innovators can create products people want to buy. And Clay said this thing. He said, our long held belief that understanding the customer is the crux of innovation is wrong. Customers don't buy products and services, they hire them to do a job. Now, if you've reviewed the materials that I've shared, then you have a bit of an introduction to this theory called jobs to be done. But the concept is essentially that we don't buy things because of who we are. You know, I don't buy things 'cause I'm a 36-year-old woman who lives in Canada, who drives a Volkswagen. Marketers would like to think that's why we buy things, but it's not why we buy things. We buy things because we have a specific job that we're trying to get done in our life. There's something blocking us from making progress in the way that we want to make progress. And we essentially hire products or service providers to help us get our jobs done. And when those things work well, great, we will keep using them, we'll be happy. When they don't work well, we will fire them and look for something new to hire.